Hello, welcome to the Network Effect. First thing I like to do is say salute.
Salute. Salute.
All right, because we got only a few minutes to talk about some real stuff. First of all, we do have a couple of guests today, Charles Greer and Dr. Derrick Greer. And if they like to introduce themselves and tell them a little bit what we're about, then we can jump right into it.
Hi, I'm Charles Greer. I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm the site manager for our group homes for teen girls called Home for the Heart Incorporated, sites 1, 2, and 3. Our group homes are located right here in the neighborhood we grew up in, Sherman Park. We grew up on 40th and Burleigh, and site 1 is 40th and Burleigh, the house we grew up in. So we're happy to be doing this event and participating right here in the neighborhood that we grew up in. My background is social work, child welfare, child abuse, child neglect, sex trafficking, mental health. I pretty much did it all when it comes to children and families, and working in the community and working with CPS and child welfare. So that's me in a nutshell. About 30 years of experience.
And my name is Dr. Lanetta Greer, and I am the director for Home for the Heart Group Home. And Home for the Heart has been in business for 18 years. It is a nonprofit organization. And we, as Charles said, we have 3 locations. Each location houses 5 girls between the ages of 12 and 20 years old, and we are specialized for youth with independent living needs. So we do teach them skills in the area of education, employment, money management, learning about community resources, and mental health. And so we pride ourselves. We are accredited with CARF we just received our 3-year accreditation with CARF, and we are a QRTP, which is a Qualified Residential Treatment Program. So we are very blessed and honored to be here and be able to talk all things group homes, all things child welfare, and to share our experiences that we've had over the course of the past 18 years.
And this is where we get into the real business of what we're talking about. Everybody talked about what they do, and I'm a community-based person too. But what I see as an issue, and I don't want you guys to maybe weigh in on this. I deal with youth football and sports in general, and 75% are ran by single-parent mothers. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one ethnic group, it's single moms in general. And therefore, on the opposite side, when we ask a lot of the fellas how many parents are at home, we have both parents at home, we're under 10% now. So there's a lot of kids that's getting left behind or being raised by Uncle Joe or whoever. But then, in essence, this is where I think you guys come into play, because there is another sense of community and a sense of home, and on a grassroots level. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of kids don't have access to internet and have access to fancy programs and all that other stuff. So if you guys could weigh in on that a little bit, how that affects the community.
Basically, in my opinion, like I said, we group homes for teen girls. I look at it as like we're your biological, or we're your family until you get back to your biological family. So that's why we call our group homes Home for the Heart, because we're the home for your heart, literally, until you get to child permanency is what the goal is. And when I mean child permanency, every child has the opportunity and should be in permanent placement with family, relatives, or adoption, or whatever you have. Child permanency and child safety are the 2 top things that are most important when it comes to child welfare and child protective services. Keeping children away from abuse and neglect and sex trafficking is what we're all about with our Girls at Home for the Heart. But at the same time, like my sister Dr. Greer said, giving those other essential things as well, like supporting them with education, health, all types of things like that, and giving them multicultural experiences that they may not ever had before.
Just to add on to that before the doc weigh in, because those are the same women that's producing half of the amount of young men in the league. I mean, ranging from 6 years old to 13. So the sisters don't realize that it's almost a a cycle effect. If you don't get things together, then it's kind of it's the same repetitive effect. So,
Exactly. And I think that's what makes us special, is trying to let the girls see that this is really just a chapter in their lives. This is not their whole story. This is not the whole book. And no matter where you come from, what this physical house represents, you can be anything. And I think that Charles and I love being able to tap into different resources, connect them to different opportunities that will cost, that will be maybe out of the scope of what other people would feel like they should do for kids who are quote unquote in out of home care. But I think that the way we look at it is the sky's the limit, and you don't know what they will become. So it's highly important to find out their unique individual interests, what drives them, what motivates them, and really try to help them to see that that could be their way to a career, or that could propel them into something really, truly amazing. And the other thing that I'll say is that I enjoy that our staff, as well as management, prides itself on staying in touch with our girls. They leave our program, that means absolutely positively nothing. We are still checking in, following up. Staff are, if they get an apartment, going to check on their apartment, seeing what their living arrangements look like. So that is just a powerful, that is a flex for us to say that we do care about our girls for a lifetime. It's not just something we do while they're quote unquote in our care.
Yeah, that's perfect, Doc, because a lot of, just to add on to that just a little bit, a lot of our generation, I think it's just the girls, they are so wrapped up in the TikTok and social media, which is a good and a bad thing. My generation, I think we would have used it a little differently, propel us to be a little more successful, because they have all the tools, they're just not using them properly. You know, if you can get on there and dance and do this and get 10,000 views, well, maybe we need to change the energy a little bit and get some views for something else. But we all know what social media is really about in the agenda. That's why I like really working with the grassroots, because when it's all said and done, you got to come back home. You got to come back home. So, I don't know how much more time we got here, but I can talk all day long, especially with this wine, what we got going on. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Let me emphasize something real quick that works well for Home for the Heart and us being around for 18 years. What's amazing and it makes us, I think, successful is that me and my sister are really good friends as well, and we work well together, and we know what each other's strengths are. So I can bounce things off of her, and she can bounce things off of me. I know when I need to step in. I know when she needs to she knows when she needs to step in. So we work well together, and we have a great relationship outside of our business. So I think that's important. We had great parents growing up. Our father's deceased, our mother is still here, and we grew up around great morals and values, and we wanted to give that to the young ladies that we work with. This community, to us, we view it as stronger families equal stronger communities. So we think if you have strong families around, then the community will look strong. So that's our driving force. Another driving force we live by is passion, patience, and purpose. I call it the Chuck's 3 Ps. Live by those. Find your passion. When you find your passion, be patient. And when you're patient, know your purpose. Because if you don't know your purpose, you're just going to be going in circles. And I think we've accomplished that, and it feels so good to know that this is where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's excellent. I just wanted to add on a tad bit, because I can add and have these type of conversations all day long. But as far as with the football and the youth that I deal with, I took on, by me being the president of the league, I took on the responsibility of safety and education. So, and that's not with the kids. It starts with the coaches. So a lot of our young men, the coaches that we have, they have a feel for football, but they don't know football. So I say to myself, let's get them certified. So maybe if they got a better understanding of what they need to be coaching, You know what I'm saying? Then when we produce a better product on the field. Because a lot of times our kids are just being exploited with sports and football. You know, as soon as the youth part is over, then it's over for them. But for me, it's not, because I'm preparing them for the next level.
It's bigger than football.
It's way bigger. I'm just using football as a platform. But I have to help create better men. So if I can get them certified, get them better tutorials, seminars, get them more equipment, so they can be better coaches. Because everybody, go Johnny, go. Everybody has that mentality and wants their kid to do better. But in all, a lot of dads are putting their kids in harm's way, giving them unsafe practices, techniques, and stuff like that. So how about let's get you certified, then you can be dad of the year. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're putting out a better product. You guys know how when I'm finna go with this, and I know we can wrap it up. But you know the difference when we play inner city NPS schools when we play the other schools.
Yeah.
It's the dynamics, it's the coaching.
Yeah.
Their talent ain't that great out there. They just well coached and disciplined.
Right.
Whereas we're just, I come to practice when I want to and this and that. And where you learn that from? I know you didn't learn that from Coach Nelson.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But in all, majority of the time, this is where the kids get that behavior from.
Yeah.
So, and then when the emotional part come in, I can go on and on about that. Men don't see, these young boys don't get a chance to see men responding to emotional situations.
Yeah.
They see women responding to emotional situations. So therefore, you end up picking on those habits. And that's not how young boys or young women should act when they're looking at the opposite way of how to act. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not putting enough stock into our men and our ladies, also outside our youth.
Yeah.
You know
I think that is amazing for you to even say that for your coach. Because for some of them, they are playing that role of dad. A coach is really powerful to kids and really can make an impact that a teacher and other people don't make. I was going to say our staff too, they're trained in trauma-informed care. You can't work with our young women who have the trauma history that they have and not have training in trauma-informed care and be able to understand where some of these behaviors come from. So for you to have that for your coaches, that's just that's something to really be celebrated.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well, I just got the cue, so we're going to salute on that.
Salute.
Just so you guys know that we drink wine to let you know it's not all serious. You know what I'm saying? We have fun too. So salute. The network effect is out of there. Peace.